For the city of Brookshire, Texas, will hold a regular session council meeting on April 17, 2025 at 7 p.m. in City Hall to consider the following. Can we have a prayer, please?
Minister Harrison, can you please say a prayer?
Father, we are so grateful because of your love and your mercy that you show us daily. We ask now, Father God, as we're gathered in this place, Father, that your presence be here. Father God, that you will lead and guide this council. Lord God, that every decision made here tonight, Father God, will be for the betterment of this city and its citizens. I pray your blessing upon each one of them. In the mighty name of Jesus, amen.
Amen. Can we have a roll call, please?
Mayor Branch, Mayor Pro Tem Richards,
Present.
Alderwoman Taylor,
Here.
Alderman McAnally,
Present.
Alderwoman McDade,
Present.
Alderman Green,
Present.
Mayor Pro Tem, you have a council.
Thank you. Public comments per Texas Open Meetings Act and Texas Government Code 551007. The City Council may not discuss or take action on any items not listed on the agenda. Each member of the public wishing to speak must sign in before the meeting, which is limited to 3 minutes. And I have 5 people. First person is Romero Baptista. Good afternoon.
Good evening,
Evening, sorry.
Mayor Pro Tem, aldermen and alderwomen, staff, attorney. I just want to come to you today. I just want to introduce myself. I came to the EDC board a couple of weeks ago to introduce myself, just give a brief background on myself. I did prepare just a little 3-minute video, so I'm not going to talk much, but if you have any questions, maybe in the future, what I'm trying to do here is introduce myself, give you a little background on myself, and just show a little bit of my desire to want to do the work here in Brookshire and identify how we can strategically, potentially work together.
What's your name again?
Ramiro Bautista. If you have ever noticed a new business opening in the neighborhood and felt really proud of your community,
That's economic development.
That's economic development.
That's economic development.
if you have ever thought about retraining or upgrading your skills at a local college or university,
That's economic development.
if you have ever had to look for a new job and felt confident that you would not need to move,
That's economic development.
I want to let you in on a little secret. Economic development is at the heart of every great community because a strong economy does not mean more jobs. It means more opportunities, more choices, more resiliencies for everyone. So developing our economy really means developing our community. And dynamic, thriving communities do not happen by chance. It takes the efforts of skilled experts on the front lines, working hard every day to make our community a little better. That is what I will do. I will be your economic development professional. From local to national, our common objective will be a stronger, more resilient, more inclusive economy. From new businesses to old industry, small town to the entire county, I understand what it takes to build a vibrant community, helping it grow stronger where everyone has an opportunity to thrive. How will I do it? Easy. With education and expertise, I will collaborate to attract new businesses and work hard to champions for the ones that we have, maybe even help them grow. I can help navigate funding options, financing programs, investment opportunities, while connecting investors and developers to the right government resources. I know technology and I understand workforce development. I have expertise in partnerships, mentorships, and apprenticeships. I can work with council and the Type B board of directors to develop better strategies. I can work with schools to develop new training opportunities. I can work with community leaders to identify current gaps. And I love research. I can provide information on everything from local trends to free trade zones to implementing new technology to industrial cluster developments. I can wear many hats customized to the unique needs of our community based on mountains of research and training and best practices, because developing our economy is a science and it is an art. This is how successful communities invest in the future. In sustainability, in opportunity, and resiliency in ourselves, which means creating a better place to live with purpose. A dynamic, thriving community for us all. I am here for the city of Brookshire so we can build a stronger community together.
Let's get to work. Let's get to work. Let's get to work.
So thank you all very much, and I appreciated the staff that was able to come out during their lunch period. I just took 5 minutes of their lunch period time, and I just leave you with this one quote: good, better, best. Never let it rest until your good is your better and your better is best. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Mr. Corey Hodge. Good evening.
As I stand before you guys, this is tough. I'm the younger brother of the former chief, Miller. The last year and a half, between myself, my other brother, we've been trying to help Clyde stay afloat. We're at a crossroad right now. For you guys, as I really wanted to address Branch, but he's not here, but I'll address the council. You guys, the people that vote you guys in, they don't expect for you guys to be perfect. They don't. When you guys get voted in these kind of situations, they don't expect you guys to be perfect, but they do expect you guys to be transparent. When you make a mistake, I'm a leader in my organization. When I make a mistake, I own it. I step up and I say, hey, I'm wrong, but and I do whatever I need to do to make it right. You guys, Ms. Connor, McDade, Brent, Mr. Richards, Mr. Green, I'm not sure your name tag. You guys have an opportunity to make this right. This is a really struggle. I know my brother's gonna be upset at me when I say this. My brother's about to lose his home, and that's not right, because he had not did anything to where he deserved to be treated this way. This man gave almost 15, 16 years of his life, dedicated himself to this city. And that's one thing about people that's in leadership. What you do not do is you don't leave your people, you don't hang them to dry. You don't do that. I think the reason why we are here today is because God's not asleep. See, what happened was, they thought when they pushed these other people away and they pushed my brother away, they thought it was gonna go away. But let me tell you something, because I'm a believer, and what he did, he turned around and he put it right back in your face. Sometimes the punishment don't go towards the person that wronged you, it goes towards people around you. I don't have much more than that. You guys have an opportunity to fix it. Please fix it. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Ms. Ruby Thomas.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Ruby Thomas, as y'all know, and
Good
I'm a
evening.
resident on 13th Street. I'm one of the old residents, and I'm here because I oppose to the name changing. I have nothing wrong with Jackson, but 13th Street been 13th Street ever since I've been on 13th Street. And also, by changing the name of the street, it's putting all the residents have to go and reverse all their information from the light company on down to whatever, switching it. And that's kind of complicated. You know, y'all might not see that, but I do. And I know I'm speaking for all the others. I oppose to that. The main concern of 13th Street is the condition of the road. That's what needs to be focused on. Excuse me, I got cold. That's what needs to be focused on instead of focusing on name changing. And as my dad used to always say, if something not broke, don't fix it. Amen.
Thank you. Ms. Stephanie Green.
Good evening, Mayor
evening.
Pro Tem, councilmen, citizens. I just wanted to say that as I stand here, I do believe that most of us want what's best for the city of Brookshire, or at least think we know what's best for the city of Brookshire. So as we're entering into election season, I'm sure everyone is in the knowledge that the water district is asking for bond authority. But why I'm standing here is because of the lies and the rhetoric that people are posting on their hidden Facebook pages that a lot of people in this community don't have access to. If we want what's best for the city of Brookshire, we don't have to lie and be deceitful to get it. Let's be honest. Most of those people I have not seen at either one of our town hall meetings. I have not seen at any of the water district meetings to get an understanding of why the water district is asking for a bond, is asking for bond authority. Okay, there is one last town hall meeting that is scheduled for April the 22nd, Tuesday, April the 22nd, at the Royal Junior High School. If you are confused as to what the bond authority is for, please attend the meetings instead of posting lies and rhetoric about the bond. It is very important. And I know it's election season, so people use that opportunity to stir up lies and confusion. But like the economic development coordinator was saying earlier, I believe Brookshire is better. I do. I believe we're already better, but we can be the best. And how we can be the best is to stop all of the lies and deceit and character assassinating of everyone. Let's just work together in unity, for goodness sake. We understand, get an understanding of why we're asking for bond authority. Get an understanding of why your council makes the decisions they're making before you just go to Facebook and social media and post lies. That's why I came up here. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Ms. Claudia Harrison?
But I would like to ask that I be allowed to speak with council on agenda item number 7.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, so we're about to go into the town hall meeting for 13th Street. And we'll start that meeting at 7:13 p.m. So if anyone would like to come up and voice their opinions, and I know someone has already done that, about the name change on 13th Street, now is the time to do so. Yes, ma'am.
I'm Dolores Thomas. I stay on 34202 13th Street. I've been here, hung on there all my life. And they worried about changing the street instead of worried about digging the ditches and stuff like that. I had to get out there and go dig my own ditch with a shovel because they didn't come out there and dig it to make the water go through. The grass is so high in the ditches and the dirt is so thick in there, you can't really just, just get up there and dig it like that. And they bring these old tractors and stuff. That tractors is too big to go up there and dig the ditches. You want to work, get up there, get a shovel, get a lawnmower, cut the ditch, point blank. I'm kind of pissed off because every time you see them coming through there, instead of worrying about changing the street, they need to worry about getting that doggone street straightened out. And what's the problem with changing the street? 11th Street, 12th Street, they still got their numbers. What is the problem with that? That's what I wanna know. Who's worrying about changing the name of the street? For one thing, I'm having I got my, home care, person to come on my street tomorrow to get that thing. If all this stuff be changed and stuff like that, I don't know, I really don't know what's the problem with it. That's what I wanna know. Who's worrying about 13th Street anyway? They ain't doing nothing for it. And I'm being point blank, because I've been up there a long time. And as many times I had to get up there, take a hand sickle, cut the grass in the ditches to try to make sure that the water go through so my property won't be so full of water. You know, and I've been there, like I said, I've been there a long time. I tend to my own business and stuff like that. I don't care about what they do over there, as long as they don't do it on mine. You know, and I think that's fair. If I'm taking care of mine, don't worry about mine, worry about what y'all supposed to do to it, the street.
Thank you. Is there anyone else?
So quotation's done. I am also a resident of 13th Street. I did look at the previous meetings that got this whole situation started, and I know that there was direction given to the staff to do some research and maybe help some of the citizens understand why we're at this point right now. 'Cause I'm with them. I do agree it is going to be an inconvenience for those that are still currently living on 13th Street. So is there any reason why we have to do that? Is there another thing that we can do to honor the family that has requested the street name change? Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else would like to come in on name change on 13th Street? Okay. We will close the town hall meeting at 7:17 p.m. Okay, moving right along. Consider and take action on consent agenda items listed under the consent agenda as considered routine and are generally enacted in one motion. The exception to this rule occurs when a council member requests one or more items removed from the consent agenda for separate discussion and action. We have A, meeting minutes of the regular city council meeting on April 3rd, 2025. Can I get a motion on that?
I make a motion that we approve.
Are you gonna read them all and approve them as one consent agenda item?
It's only one.
There's only
It's the
one.
only one, oh. Sorry?
I make a motion that we approve the regular city council meeting of April 3rd, 2025.
Can I get a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed. Old business. Discussion and possible action to review former employees of the city of Brookshire, detail reasons for termination for the fiscal year 2022, 2023, 2024. I think Ms. McDade, you asked for this particular item to be added on the agenda.
Yes, I did. I know in those previous years, there were employees who were either terminated or forced to resign. And of course, when we came on, newly elected, it was a picture painted, a bad picture. So I know some of those employees are here, so we would like to hear from them. We want to hear their side of the story to see what really happened. Can we get
I think,
who's over here to stand so we'll know? What'd you say?
oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Former employees who were terminated or forced to resign.
Okay, and I know Ms. Claudia Harrison had spoke first to come up, so I'll ask her to come up first, and then anyone else after that. Good evening.
Yes, good evening, Mayor Pro Tem, members of the council. I just stand before you today. I am not a person who dips into a lot of mess, is what I'm going to say. I live a very peaceful life as much as possible. I am the former city secretary, for those who may not know that. My name has been scandalized. My name constantly comes up. When I was here, the last year or so, it was very difficult, constantly being accused of things that no one has proven. I have been investigated many times with nothing found. At this point, I really feel like those of us, and I was on my way out anyway, if they'd given me just a few more months, but it just got to the point where it was affecting my health, it was affecting my mother's health. My family loves me just like everybody else's family does. I did not raise a ruckus about anything that was said against me. I have not come before this council or bothered anyone that works here to try to plead my cause. But I do want the citizens of this town to understand that lots of taxpayers' dollars have been spent on investigating me. And what have we found? I am a person who was born and raised here. I live on the property I was born on. I have a heart for this city. And when I took the oath as the city secretary, I held that true to my heart. Am I perfect? No. Did I make mistakes? Yes. And I willingly owned up to them. But even to this day, I am still hearing my name. Someone trying to get their tax bill straightened out. Oh, Claudia Harrison took all the money. I have been approached even by council members that I worked under with very ugly thoughts. As I came to the conclusion that the best thing for me to do after a lot of prayer, because I am a child of God, and my trust is in God, as I have told all the mayors that I work under, this was just a job. My life, I live it to give him glory. And I am a minister of the gospel. And all these rumors that are floating around, for some people, it just gives them more to say, you know, how could she, or, oh, she's nobody. And you're right, I'm nobody. But I am somebody in God's eyes. And so I just want to stand before you to get the record straight that after all these investigations, nothing has been found on Claudia Harrison. The FBI, the Texas Rangers, the county, forensic audits, nothing. And so I would just like for this council to be aware that I want my name to be left alone. And I do want you to know I had legal counsel that really wanted me to come after you, but that is not who I am, because this is my home. And even when I left, my name was left on the tax bills. That was not legal. I was no longer your assessor collector. And I had to make a phone call, and of course it got taken off later. But just so you guys know, this city is a good city. I brag on the city of Brookshire. And I pray that this council and whoever ends up here after this coming election will remember that what you say about people carries a lot of weight. We have a lot of new people in this community. They don't know me. They don't know anything about me other than what they hear. And if I'm going to be effective in my work for God, I would truly appreciate that the lies would stop and that I would be allowed to live my life in peace as I have allowed the city to not come under any repercussions because of me. And likewise with some of my coworkers, I hope that you guys will just hear us tonight. This won't change the mind of everyone because they're going to believe what they want to. But I thank you, Ms. McDade, for giving us the privilege and the honor to come before this council to let you know who we really are and that our hearts were really for the city and the citizens of Brookshire. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else that would like to speak? Agenda item number 7.
Well, first and foremost, thank you, everyone here. Thank you, Alderwoman McDade, for allowing this to be on the agenda tonight. And furthermore, thank you all for just hearing us out. My name is Avery Brookshire. I'm here on behalf of Mr. Eddie Filer here. And I'm not going to take up too much of your time because you're going to hear a lot of information and testimony and, well, frankly, testifying by the individuals who were former employees. But I want to take a second to introduce this man. This is Eddie Filer. He is a former armed service member of 8 years. Following that, he spent 11 years as a peace officer, 6 of which was right here in Brookshire. That was until, unfortunately, his tenure here came to an end. Not through his own action, not through a means in which he wanted it to end, but through a consequence that led us here. Everybody here knows what has happened with the levels of corruption that have been within the city, not only at the highest levels, but even further down. I'm not from here, so unfortunately, I can't really speak to it, but Mr. Filer can. Not just because he's from here, because he lived through it.
Good evening. So basically, I was terminated in 2022 by Chief Miller at the time. I was hoping Mayor Branch would be here because he's the main part of my situation. So the first allegation was they said that I took home a city vehicle for over a month without permission. The second one was I put gas in my personal car with my city gas card because I had a take-home card. Third one was I used excessive use of force on an arrest that I did for a warrant. So I pleaded my case to Miller at the time and explained to him that none of that stuff happened. Then we had to appeal in December.
It was in December of that same year.
Yes,
Mr. Filer
yes.
was terminated in November of that year, and then his appeal came up in December of that year.
So just to backtrack real quick, Miller did an investigation in 2 days, and when I had my appeal here, they presented nothing to the last council that was up here. And Miller sat right there in this seat and was agreeing with me as far as the arrest. When he was asked about the use of force continuum, because I brought that up, Miller, quote unquote, it's on a YouTube video. He said, I did what I had to do to arrest the lady, which clearly I did my job. As far as for I was asking them to show my body cam video. Miller said he had the copy of my body cam video, and Mayor Branch told him, don't play that, play the 10-second clip that they got from the gas station. That's to paint a perception of the last 10 seconds of the arrest to make it look like I just threw this person down on the ground instead of showing the whole scenario. Anywho,
So you'll have one minute left, okay?
so we just get 3 minutes.
Well, I've given you, you already exceeded the 3.
Sorry.
But go ahead, you have 1 minute left.
Oh man, throw it more time. Basically, I didn't do nothing. Mayor Branch has been caught in multiple lies. He has lied a lot. He's been caught. He has been recorded by people that was leaked of him talking bad about the council, about the police chief, about the officers, about the employees. He says his name's not on nothing. Come to find out his name's on every city contract, employment agreements. It's just lie after lie after lie. And the main thing my appeal was, I was reinstated by the last council, and they chose, Mayor Branch and Jeremiah Hill chose not to bring me back. That's not how the city policy works. And the city policy clearly states you have an appeal. The council voted for it because they clearly saw that I did nothing wrong, and they didn't like the outcome of that, so they reversed it. And that's about it. I mean, just hopefully we get justice for this. A lot of people's lives have been damaged. I'm just gonna wrap it up real quick. A lot of people's lives have been damaged. I spoke to Miller last May, last year. Me and him talked. We had about an hour conversation. I forgive him for the stuff he did. So yeah, hopefully y'all could do something for us and fix our files,
Thank you.
etc. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Excuse me, I just want to say this, please. I spoke previously, but I just wanted to say this, listening to the former employees speak, it just brings back memories. I just want to say in 2022, we welcomed a new council as administrative staff, as employees, as we have done down through the years. It is customary when you get a change, you welcome them, you're willing to work with them. But what we quickly found is that they were not willing to work with us. We quickly found that it was never their plan to work with us. It was stated even on Facebook that they were taking out the trash. And so I want the public to know that's exactly how we were treated. We were treated like common trash. No value, all of the knowledge that we had to offer, all of our skills, they let the city go lacking. They let the city fall on its face because they refused to use us, the qualified people who had been here and had the knowledge. And so it was I don't even have a word for it, but I just want the public to know that. We were ready to work and willing to work for that council, but they never wanted to work with us.
Thank you.
Big Thomas and Miller.
Is there anyone else? Good evening.
My mouth is loud enough. I'm Corporal Thomas. First, I want to say hello to everybody. Thank you for the council members that have reached out to me to make sure that I was okay, make sure that my kids were okay. The major puzzle piece to all of this is absent. Those of you who don't know me, I was the corporal for the city of Brookshire. And I served roughly about a year in the city of Brookshire. I tend to the elderly just as well as doing mentor to some of the minors. I've dealt with a lot of people, kids in this community. Attend every single community event, non-paid, out of my personal time and a dedication to what I do. Previously, I have law enforcement experience. I don't want to go too far, but I do want to address some issues. The issues with the city of Brookshire took place when the new council came in. Why I say that? I barely have held a conversation with you, so it's no shade to you, no hard feelings to you. I really don't know you. However, Jennifer Ward, currently some people that you guys still have sitting here, Oscar Garcia, these are corrupted individuals. I hold before you right now a file, my personnel file, that if any one of you want to take a look, you're more than welcome. And I'm giving you this to my heart to say, I have nothing to hide. When I requested this through my TMPA attorney, several documents were placed in this file illegally. Anytime you are to put something in an employee's file, that employee is supposed to know about it. I've been slandered all over the news. I have been said I've sexually harassed one of my former coworkers. The same charge that Jennifer Ward is currently facing now, have been indicted on tampering with a government document. She tried to force me on my off day to take that same charge. If you guys are familiar with law enforcement rules, in the state of Texas, it is totally legal to amend any document. If there is an error on a document, you can always go back and add to a file. The rule is you don't touch the original file. On the day that I was terminated, when I came in to pick up my check from some discrepancies with payroll, I came in with my 19-year-old daughter, and I was told by Cheyenne Graham, my check was not in the police department. My check was here in the court. I needed to see Jennifer Ward. Upon me coming to the court, I'm like, why would a council member have my check? Not my chief, not my lieutenant, but a council member. So I said, okay, that's fine. I'll go down there and talk to her. Now, bring you back just a little bit. Mayor Branch introduced me to Jennifer Ward. When I extended my hand to shake her hand, she refused. It's like I disgusted her. Upon me walking away, she don't know. I have perfect hearing. I have heard some things that have been mumbled about me, and I'm perfectly fine with it. But she said she got to go. For whatever reason. Never held a conversation with this lady, never sat down to even have a formal introduction other than the mayor saying, this is Chief Miller's right hand. This is the corporal. And he introduced, hey, this is the city manager. This is Jennifer Ward. Hi, Ms. Ward. Nothing. Okay? Moving forward, the day I walked in on my off day to pick up my check, in Mayor Branch's office, right here, Mayor Branch sat here. Oscar Garcia, who was supposed to be the appointed chief, placed in Chief Miller's seat that was just told. It wasn't documented. We didn't receive an email, anything. He was just said, for this reason, he is the appointed chief. We put him in that place for this day, okay? Garcia sitting here, Jennifer Ward comes around me. I'm sitting in front of Mayor Branch. She holds up two documents, original version, amended version. First off, how did you get the document? Cheyenne Graham, which I have witnessed myself, personal conversations, seen personal text message between Jennifer Ward and Cheyenne Graham, exchanging. Cheyenne went into my desk, retrieved a police officer's file that was secured for no one to walk by and just, oh, we see his background.
You
She
have
wasn't supposed to
1
see that.
minute left. 1 minute left, just to let you know.
So as you sit here and accuse me of something that I didn't do, I just proved to you I didn't do it. You have two documents. I look at Mayor Branch. You're the boss. You know the rule because you was in law enforcement. You gonna stand for this? She forced me out. So here, not only have you forced me out, but you've put a Brady on me illegally. I have a copy of that if you guys need that. You put several illegal documents in my file, and not only that, but Jeremiah Hill was conducting illegal background checks on all of us for his own purposes, posted my personnel file on social media. So my heart is with the city of Brookshire, and I'm asking that you guys make it right.
Thank you.
Whatever make it right looks like.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Good evening.
Hello, council.
Speaking
All right, how are y'all? So
Speaking of
I'm here today.
Speaking of mic.
Council, thank y'all for allowing me
The mic.
to
Can't
come.
hear you.
Oh, I'm
Can't
sorry,
hear you.
sorry. Hello, yes. Okay, so council, thank y'all for allowing me to come before you to speak on what have taken place the last 2 years. I worked in the city of Brookshire for 15 years. When my career changed for the worse, never had a write-up. I've never had a disciplinary action taken on me. I've always tried to make the bare minimum reasonable decision in everything I did in the city. I started as a patrol officer, and I worked my way up the ranks. I patrolled the city of Brookshire for 7 years. I met great citizens. I've also met troublesome citizens who always got in trouble, but I dealt with those citizens with respect. I got to know the citizens by their nicknames. I've never forgotten when I first started working for the city of Brookshire. I got a traffic stop and made contact with the violator, told her what the traffic stop was about, and I wrote her a ticket. And it was thank you, and that was the weirdest to me, to get a thank you after I just wrote a $300 ticket. But she thanked me because I was respectful. She was very thankful for me being respectful to her. So moving on to about 2014, I was approached by the Judge Krennick at the time. Judge Krennick, he wanted me to work for the courts. I was patrol at the time, and he chose me pulled me to the side and asked me could I work the courts. At the time, Ms. Green was the clerk supervisor. I did everything the judge asked me to do. The only thing he didn't want me to do was accept money off the streets. That was his #1 thing. Don't take no money off the street. If you have to put them in the back of your truck and bring them to the courts and let that person deal with the courts, that's what he wanted. And that's what I always did. I've never taken money off the streets. So for consecutive years, I collected nice sums of money for the courts, for at least a couple of years, and then we had the COVID. But for a couple of years, I actually was doing pretty good on the collecting. So Ms. Ward said that it was some money discrepancy when I even asked to go back to the courts at one time. She said it was some money discrepancy, as if I stole some money. I don't steal money. I don't have to steal. So that was a problem. Then 6 years later, to 2020, I always ride the city. I always ride the city, see what's going on in the city. So that was just one thing that I always did. So I was on South Street, and a call dropped that there was a disturbance on Bain Street. So I'm a couple of blocks away. So I said, well, I'll make that call. So I made the location, called out on the location. And when I got out the vehicle, you can clearly hear the cussing. So they was really about to get ugly. So I knocked on the door and stepped away from the door. Now my thoughts was, whoever come to the door, that's who I'm pulling out. So the lady come to the door. I said, ma'am, step on out. She steps on out, and I say, any weapons in the house? She said, no, there's no weapons in the house. I said, okay. I said, what's going on? She said, well, my boyfriend and is getting into it over some money. He spent some money that he shouldn't have spent. So I said, okay, I understand. So by that time, Officer Phillips shows up, Officer Shaheed shows up. So I asked one of them to get the female's ID, And I asked the other officer to pull the other, the boyfriend's ID, because he came up to the door. And so we waited a few seconds or so, waiting on the dispatcher to give us a return. Well, it came back that the guy was clear. He had no warrants, he was clear. But the female had warrants. She had open warrants out of Brookshire jurisdiction. So I'm the sergeant in the 1 division at the time. This is my part where I tell her, hey, this is what we can do to fix this issue. So I told her, hey, I'm Sergeant Miller. I am the 1 officer for the city of Brookshire. I can help you, but you got to help yourself on this. These are your wants. So I told her, at that point, she say, I don't have no wants. I said, ma'am, I'm sorry. You have wants. We already did we already had it checked and made sure that she had wants. So she had wants. So at that point,
Sir, you have 1 minute left.
okay. So at that point, we pulled up. Officer Shaheed put her under arrest and took her to jail. Well, Ms. Ward saying that I put her in jail. I'm not the one put her in jail. I was just there to make sure that everything went fine. So what I ended up doing is getting an open records request to show the council that I had nothing to do with the arrest. I was just there to make sure that it worked out fine, because it was a disturbance, and that's one of the dangerous calls to go on. So what I did is grab a copy of the arrest. So I do have that. Okay, so I just want to let you know, it's a lot. I can't get everything out in 1 minute, but I just want to let you guys know I have anything that y'all want to know about what took place. I have it, and I made copies for all y'all. So at the end, you want them now? She didn't go to the Water County Sheriff Department. She went way to Harris County.
Thank you. Moving right along. Is there anyone else? Yes, ma'am. Come on up.
As well to add to what I was saying, when you go through the courts and you have evidence of what took place and you present that to the court, the judge makes the decision whether you're innocent or you're guilty. In my case, I was proven to be innocent. Jennifer Ward, on the recording is the transcript I sent to Ms. McDaniel, proved that Jennifer Ward was lying under oath. So my F5, and if you guys don't know what an F5 is, it's your displacement from an agency, was overturned to honorable, but I still have a Brady on my name that was falsely placed on me for false conviction, or false allegations, I would say, because I never went before on charges. So I just want my name clear.
Thank you. Is there anyone else?
Good evening, everyone, council.
Good evening.
Mayor Pro Tem. I'm Lieutenant Phillips. I want to speak on behalf of Miller. I was on the call with Miller. It took place. There was a call of disturbance, and everyone in law enforcement know when you got a call of disturbance, everyone shows up. Miller just happened to be in the area at the time. Myself and the officer, he should be here in a little. He's here now. This young man behind me was the arresting officer. I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna sit down. There was a lie told on Miller. Miller did not arrest anyone. The only reason why that case got dismissed because the officer that gave the citation was not working for the city no more. This woman sued the city of Brookshire. They threw it out of court. This man tried to get his unemployment. The unemployment commission said Ms. Ward had too many things with her testimony. It was a mix-up. He won his case because I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna sit down. The truth will always overshadow a lie. If I'd have known this man was mistreating somebody, I would have pulled his coat. Brother, this is not how we treat people in the city. We treat people with dignity and respect. Everyone knows me. I'm going to treat everybody right. And I ask counsel, treat this man right. He did not arrest anyone. There was a lie being told. And the truth will overshadow a lie in a minute. That's all I got to say. The truth be told.
Thank you. Is there anyone else?
Hello guys, my name is Osama Shahid. I used to be a police officer with Brookshire Police Department. Currently I am a police officer at Hedwick Village Police Department. I was told that there was an arrest that I made that you guys actually misunderstood. Not you guys, but the city, Brookshire Police Department and Fire. Sergeant Miller. He's a good officer. He never did ask for the money. I'm the one who made that arrest, and I can tell you this much. It was the right arrest. The lady had a warrant, and I had to do my job, and that's what I did. This man need to get his job back. This poor man been losing everything. I have talked to him many times. Currently, he's behind with his payments that this city cost. And this man gonna lose his house because of this city. So you guys need to do the right thing by bringing him back to this city. He had put many, many years with this city. Back then, he was doing everything good. Now, he's a negative person. He's a bad person. And you guys need to make a right decision today and get this man his job back. Thank y'all.
Thank you. Okay. Is there anyone else? All right. Still on old business.
Mr. Richards, hold on. I want to say something. This person's not even here. And I'll say that it started with Chief Jackson. And I was in a meeting. I wasn't on city council anymore. And I watched how they fired Chief Jackson. They didn't have the votes from city council to fire Chief Jackson. But in that meeting, they already had an ordinance drawn up. And I'm sitting there watching it, and it looked like, to me, they had a walking quorum. Because they had 3 that agreed immediately. Chief Jackson was fired with an ordinance, not by the majority vote of city council. I've never seen that before. I've seen 3 chiefs, and I've never seen a chief fired through an ordinance. Totally unheard of. They didn't write him up. They didn't come to him and say, hey, look, we want the city to go in this direction. But what I did see is that they were blasting his name because murder wasn't solved in our community. There was a shooting. And they were all over Chief Jackson because it wasn't solved. I'd never seen that before. And then I watched every single person that spoke here today fall like dominoes. Nothing I can do. I knew it wasn't right. It was totally wrong. It was all politically motivated. And then you hear these people were accused of stealing by a person who was indicted for stealing. My wife's name was slandered. They said she stole $800,000 from the court. $800,000. I'll tell this story. She doesn't like this story, but I'll tell this story to everyone here. One day, she was in front of City Hall, and she saw an envelope. She picked up an envelope in front of City Hall. It had $1,000 in it. She took it inside her office right over there. She kept that envelope for months waiting for someone to come back and claim it. $1,000. No one claimed the money. She looked inside the envelope. There was a withdrawal slip from Citizen Bank in Sealy. She drove that money to Sealy and returned the money. That was free money right there. Nobody claimed it. But you accuse her of stealing when there's checks and balances in place. At the time, we had checks and balances in place. But when the new council won, there was no checks and balances. There was none. That's why all of these allegations of stealing, that's why the investigations are going. That's why all of this is happening. But I can go on a lot longer and point out a lot of things, but I'm not going to do that because we're going to be in here for a long time. I'm done, Mr. Richards.
Is there any more discussion by council?
I'd like to say something. I just want to say that, I mean, on behalf of the council now, we do apologize that happened to you guys, and hopefully something can be done to make it better. Thank you.
We can't comment. Yeah. So basically, each case will most likely be reviewed on the individual, each particular case on an individual basis, and we'll see what happens from there. Yeah. We'll evaluate each case on the individual basis. Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
I would like to personally tell you guys, thank you for taking accountability, because the person who sat there and allowed it to happen is running. He's not here because he knew at some point this would take place. I went to Mayor Branch several times asking for assistance for this very thing, to clear our name, because this is good officers you destroyed. So I know it's a new term, you guys are about to take a new turn, and whoever wins, whoever God says sit in the seat, be able to take accountability and do what is right for your people. That's all we ask. I'm not even in the city of Brookshire, but I feel like this is home because I've dealt with so many of the people that's in this room. So even for them, I ask, if you take that seat, please do what's right, because you have innocent lives that are being put at stake, that we're losing things. Our careers are being put in jeopardy. Our kids are going hungry and being hurt behind the foolery of somebody not doing their job properly.
Thank you.
So thank you guys.
Okay. We will, yeah. So each case will be reviewed on the individual basis. Yeah, yes, sir. Yeah, yeah. All right, so moving right along, still on old business, agenda item number 8, discussion of possible action, update the street lights at the hangar. Ms. McDade.
We can table that because Mayor Branch was supposed to
Okay.
be taking care of that.
So we'll table that one. Okay, new business. Discussion of possible action to review the City Hall roof repair. That was my particular item that I had on the agenda. And Mr. Taylor, I see he's left, but so the roof repairs here at the Convention Center and City Hall, there's still some damage up there. As we know, the repairs that were supposed to get done for a controversial thing that's going on right now, where there was $16,400 that was supposed to get that work done. And so that work still needs to be done because the repair never was made. And we're at a risk of the roof leaking in several places up there, and the plumbing is bad. So we will have to go out now and authorize those repairs at this point. So I would like to make a motion that we.
Have we had the roof actually inspected by anybody yet that can?
Well,
so we know what we're even going to be bidding on.
We can do that, but I can tell you that the roof, there has been several different contractors that has came out and did work on this roof, and we still have the problem. And the fix that would have done it was that $16,000 fix. But
So
are
we
we
having current leaks in the office right now?
We had the public works director went on top, and he actually inspected the roof, and there's issues up there,
Okay.
big time issues up there, and that's those same areas.
Yeah, I know there were drainage issues. Are there still drainage issues that we're seeing?
Yes.
And again, are there leaks that are happening inside the building?
Not right now, but we don't want to wait until the leak starts. We want to be
No,
proactive.
I hear you. I'm
We
just
want to be
trying to figure out
proactive and
where-
fix it
what's
before the
in
leak
that.
gets here.
So-
Pro Tem, we actually do have some leaks. Those are being replaced, those little panel things are being replaced in the convention center.
Yeah, it was a link I
Oh,
saw
Recently.
myself.
okay, I didn't know that.
Have started replacing them like every time it rains.
Right.
Public Works is coming over to replace them.
Oh, wow, I didn't know.
I
Well, there
seen
you are.
myself the other day, and I asked about the key because they had the air on 60 with nobody in there. I mean, it was, of course, it was locked. So we was trying to find a key to unlock it to, move it up, but it was actually leaking. Like the last time, it actually froze.
Well, there you are.
All right.
We're leaking now. So we'll have a contractor come out and give us an estimate on the repair, and then we'll bring it back before council.
I would move that we find a contractor to give us an estimate to repair the roof.
Can I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed. Okay, item number 10. Discussion and possible action review City of Brookshire police officer support for the community. And I think the chief's not here, and Mr. Miller, you're here today, right? Okay. Could you come up to the podium, please? Thank you. So we receive several complaints, not official complaints in writing, but complaints on Facebook, word of mouth complaints, complaints to council members about an increase in police pulling people over. And I think you all provided a report here, and it's in y'all's packet if you'd like to look at it. And I see there was stops for citizens and non-citizens.
Yes, sir.
And the citizen stops were, non-citizens was 100, almost 200 stops. There was 60 citations and 197 warnings. And when I look at your report, I see a lot of this is for ran a stop sign, no tail light, speeding, mostly lights, running stop signs. And then of the citizens within Brookshire, the first one was non-citizens. The citizens of Brookshire, there was 41 stops, 38 warnings, 5 citations. And some of those stops were same thing, tail lights, license plate, can't read the license plate, ran a stop sign. Could you let us know, I mean, and this was between the time of a 13-day period, from what I see here.
Yes, sir.
Could you elaborate on this? Is it, and I know you gave warnings out, so thank you for that, okay? But could you tell us why, what's kind of going on here? I mean, we want citizens to be able to feel, we want you to uphold the law for sure, okay? But we don't want the citizens to feel like they're being nitpicked, and we definitely want visitors that's coming to the city to feel welcome. So could you kind of let the citizens know kind of what's going on here with your program? Or?
Yes, sir. Thank you for allowing us to take the time to explain this. We do have an overtime initiative for traffic enforcement, and what we're doing is we're going out and we are stopping them, and like you said, for taillights, for the license plates where you can't read them, for other vehicle issues, and I'm proud of our officers that they're not writing hard copy tickets to these individuals that are out driving, and because if we were to take all these traffic stops and write citation for them as opposed to warnings so they can get the things fixed, we would have several people in here complaining about that we're out there doing our job, we're writing tickets, and we're causing a financial hardship on them. We don't want to have a financial hardship on the citizens or visitors to the city or anyone driving through it. So yes, they are out there taking care of intersections, they're taking care of stopping people who have defects in their cars, and as you stated there, the bulk of our traffic stops, they're concluded with just warnings so that they can let them know what's wrong with it and they can go ahead and get them fixed.
May I say something?
Yes, ma'am.
I know you said most of them are being stopped, tail lights or whatever, but what if a citizen get out and say, oh, no, both of them are working, and then, oh, warning gone. You know, they get stopped for that, but then they get out to see that both the lights on the license plate or tail lights are working, and that's why they're feeling like they got stopped for no reason.
So
Just saying.
what I would suggest to that is if they feel that way, if they want to come in and we can look at the dash cam on the patrol car and also the body cam on the officer, I have no problem with that. They can come in and I will show them that.
Do you know what particular shift is this happening on? Is it, nights, days? I mean,
So what we have is our night shift officers, they're working over past their shift. If they get off at 7 a.m., they're working from 7 a.m. till 9 or 10 a.m. and working those hours. Our evening shift officers, they can come in before or they can stay after. So they have their choice of what they want to do. They can either work hours before their shift, hours after their shift, or come in on their days off, which we have a couple officers that do come in on their days off and work the overtime. You know, our mission is to make our streets safer for our citizens and visitors to our city.
Any other discussion?
Thanks, Chief.
No, I have something. Just a new department seems to not really have like a community policing program that, as far as I can see. I just happened to be going through some of my old videos, and I saw where the old police officer, even Officer Phillips, who was here, who would go and see children playing basketball. He'd get out his car and play basketball with them just to build a good relationship with them. And he became really good at it. And there had police dogs showed up, actually the video shows 3 police officers playing basketball with the children. I'm not asking you to do that, but the children like that, you know, the community like that. Then I want to share this part here too. The police department has a hard job. I know they have a hard job. I've seen where citizens came into to City Hall and council chambers, and they said, police department's not doing anything. Then police department shows up, police department's harassing. And it's hard to balance that scale. And when they start coming to us and they start calling us, that kind of puts us in a position where we feel like we have to do something to fix the problem. And we don't really want to dive into trying to fix a police issue. That's really up to the chief of police. But I will say this, it seems as though all of the community things that they used to do, this department refuses to do it. They don't want to do it. And so how do you build a relationship with the community when you don't want to get out and build a good rapport with the community? They don't feel as though you will respond, because when I used to get the phone calls, they're not responding. They're not responding. I can't tell you how many phone calls I got. They're not responding, or it took too long for them to respond. The person that was shooting the gun is gone. I've heard that quite a few times. They feel like the police department really don't care. And when the citizens keep coming to city council, we feel like we have to do something about it, unless we see the police department doing something about it. I haven't seen it. And I wish Chief Hines was here so I can tell him. I haven't seen it. And I sat quiet. I refuse to say, because I don't like to really get into police business, because that's really sticky. I don't like doing that. But when there's an issue, and it keeps coming to city council, we feel like we have to fix the problem. And so I want to see the police department do some sort of community policing in our community to build a better relationship with the citizens. That way, they're not coming to us and complaining about every little thing that you're doing. Because right now, they're nitpicking y'all apart. And when they nitpick y'all apart, we feel like we have to do something about it. And we don't really like being put in that position.
And I agree, because, you have an initiative to make the city safer, and you're stopping people to make sure their cars are safe. So in that same effort, if you can do what Mr. Green has just mentioned, go out and talk to the people, get to know the people, interact with the people. Do you all still have your community liaison person? As I know Mr. Rufus Green was doing, do you have someone doing that particular job now, and how many hours do they work per week?
Not at this time, we don't.
So we need to, is that a vacant position, right? It's a vacancy.
There is a vacancy,
Okay.
yes, sir.
Okay. So that's what we mentioned here. The city of Brookshire has put a lot of resources into your department. I mean, you've got new cars, you've got new rifles, you've got tasers. We spent a lot of ARPA money on your department. We remodeled your building over there. I mean, the city of Brookshire supported your department in a lot of many ways. So I can tell you, one lady called me and she said that she was followed all the way from her relative house on First Street all the way to over by Popeyes over there by 13, the nursing home over there. And those are the kind of complaints that we get that people call in. I don't know why was she followed, or was the officer going that same way or not, but we just want to bring it to y'all's attention that you need to get out there and be more active and get to know the people, because they're losing confidence in the police department right now.
Okay.
And
I'll talk with the sergeants about getting the officers out there.
I want to say a lot of officers are doing good. I mean, the positive, but it's really one particular officer that's being complained on, and that's writing these tickets where he's saying that either the light is, default by the license plate. However, I'm not going to say his name, but I can talk to you privately.
We'll talk
Okay.
later on that.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wasn't.
Yes, sir.
I have a question. I just trying to get some clearance. That you have officers come in before the shift and work overtime, stay after work overtime.
Yes, sir.
So them officers that are doing this, is their main reason for the overtime is to write citations? Is to do traffic stops? Is that why they're working overtime?
So,
That's the way I understood it, the way you explained it.
That's the way it is.
That they stay overtime to do traffic stops. Now, I may be wrong, but I'm just saying that's how I understood it when you presented this.
so when they stay over and work the overtime for traffic enforcement, we're not telling them they have to write tickets. We're telling them that if they're gonna volunteer to come in on their off time, that they have to make 2 contacts per hour. It doesn't mean that they're gonna write a ticket, but they are gonna make 2 contacts per hour.
So if they don't wanna make 2 contacts, they don't have to work overtime.
No. If they don't wanna make traffic contacts, then they work the patrol overtime.
Okay, so that explains it.
Yeah.
We have a criteria in place. Okay, thank you, sir. Moving right along. Discussing impossible potential legal action regarding unauthorized placement and use of cameras in city council chambers.
Mayor Pro Tem Council, actually, the police department has provided some information, but it really shouldn't be a public record. I think y'all been provided the same chart. Maybe they have not. Okay, I really think we need to talk about this one in executive session.
Oh, they got the chart we don't? So you're saying we need to talk about the details, or can we let the citizens know?
You can let the citizens know what's going on, but
Okay.
as far as the details, yeah.
Okay, good, let them know.
Okay.
Off the cameras.
So we learned that cameras, particularly those 2 cameras back there, the one in the corner, the one in that corner back there, was placed in this chamber and was recording during executive session, which is illegal with audio and visual. And so it is being looked into right now. And
Zooming in on their conversations too, and their phones.
so that is being reviewed and investigated and checked on to right now. Is that it? Okay. Item number 12. Discussion and possible action, update on city events, Cinco de Mayo, Juneteenth, and 4th of July. Ms. Dunn.
Good evening, council.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Citizens of Brookshire, let me formally introduce myself. My name is Quotacious Dunn. I am the new community relations specialist, or your community liaison. I do want to just provide some quick updates on our Cinco de Mayo festival. Your dates is going to be May 3rd. We are having a parade that morning at 9. Lineup is at 9 a.m. We will be leaving the Brookshire Police Department at 10 a.m. We'll be heading east down 90 and going straight to Hovis Park. There we'll have a family fun day. We'll provide free popcorn and snow cones and water and drinks and stuff for the children. There's also going to be some entertainment. Our Grand Marshal for the parade is going to be our very own Miss Eva Lemos. On May 4th, also on May 3rd, that is the election day, don't forget to vote. May 4th is going to be just a family fun day at Hovis Park. We have several mariachi bands. Students are going to be coming out performing for us that day. We'll have free things for a big kid zone with plenty of things, free things for the students to do. And that'll be from 12 to 8. Again, May 4th is going to be at Hovis Park. Would you like me to update Juneteenth or no? Juneteenth? Okay. For our Juneteenth celebration, the date is going to be June 20th. It's going to be the first day. It's going to be June 20th. On that day, we'll be having a block party right out here at our amphitheater. We'll be providing free food and drinks, water and alcohol. I mean, water and soda drinks. Not alcohol.
No
Not
alcohol.
alcohol. No alcohol. Let me clarify. Those are the drinks. We'll be giving away free fish as well. That will be from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. on June 20th. Then that next day, June 21st, is on that Saturday morning. We'll have a parade again for the citizens of Brookshire. Lineup is 9 a.m. We'll be leaving at 10 a.m. The grand marshal for that parade is going to be our very own moderator, Lee Jones Jr. Of St. Paul Baptist Church. After the parade, again, it'll go again to Hovis Park. Family Fun Day, we'll have live band, we'll have a DJ. The event will be from 12 to 8. And then the third day for that Juneteenth festival is going to be the 22nd. It's going to be a gospel extravaganza. It's going to be at the convention center here, and it's going to be from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. And we're asking everyone to come out. We are always looking for volunteers. If you would like to reach me several ways, I have a cell phone number, is 346-257-7495. That's 346-257-7495. You can also email me at qdunn@brookshiretx.gov.
July 4th update?
Not yet. Not yet. I guess y'all want to talk about July 4th? I'm sorry.
We'll talk about that next.
Okay.
So,
Questions?
I will say, as far as the fireworks for the 4th of July, our vendor is still looking into the fireworks because of the tariffs. The price may go up a lot, or we may not even be able to even get fireworks. So we're not really sure, and I'm still waiting on her to get back with me.
Okay. Thank you. That update.
So, security is one thing, and I think we've talked about this a little bit. We want to make sure that we definitely have enough security for all of these events, because we don't need an Astroworld type event here in Brookshire, okay? So we need to make sure we definitely have enough security for all of the events that we're having here.
Yeah, and we've had a meeting with Chief Hines and Mr. Miller also, and they are on board with securing all the festivals that we have for the event.
Right, it's good. We brought the festivals back, so it's good news. Thank you, Ms. Dunn. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, item number 13, approving a proclamation for the month of April, Fair Housing Month. And if staff can explain fair housing for the citizens, please.
Citizens, my name is Ms. Glover, and I am in charge of the grants. What the Fair Housing Month is recognized in April. It's a time of dedication and promoting of fair housing, equal opportunity in housing. This is representing as which prohibits discrimination in housing based on race, color, religion, sex, national organs, family status, or disability. And we do this every year because the General Land Office requires us to participate in this. We post notices at our City Hall. We also post notices at the post office, and we post it also on the website.
All right. Any discussion on fair housing? Okay,
Make a motion to approve it.
approve it?
Are we going to read the proclamation? Are we going to read the proclamation before we approve it?
You have a copy of it. You want it
There's
read?
no legal reason to.
I don't know, I'm just asking, are we going to
You can
read it
read
to
it.
the public? I
Do
can
you want to
if
read
you
it?
want. Sure.
Go ahead.
So this is the proclamation that the city would be presenting. Whereas the city of Brookshire, Texas values and celebrates diversity, inclusion, and equal opportunity for all of its residents, and whereas the Fair Housing Act was enacted on April 1st, 1968 to provide equal housing opportunities for all Americans regardless of race, color, religion, sex, disability, familial status, or national origin. And whereas the Fair Housing Act plays a crucial role in ensuring that every individual has the right to seek housing without facing discrimination or prejudice. And whereas the observance of Fair Housing Month serves as a reminder of the importance of fair housing practices and the ongoing efforts needed to eliminate housing discrimination in our community. And whereas during Fair Housing Month, we honor the contributions of those who have championed fair housing rights and advocate for continued progress in achieving fair housing for all. Now, therefore, I, Darrell Branch, Mayor of the City of Brookshire, Texas, do hereby proclaim April as Fair Housing Month in our city, and I urge all residents to join in the observance of this month by promoting fair housing practices, fostering inclusivity, and working towards eliminating housing discrimination in our community. In witness thereof, I have hereunto set my hand and caused the seal of the City of Brookshire, Texas, to be affixed on the 17th day of April in the year 2025.
Thank you.
I move that we would approve this proclamation.
I second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed. All right. Item number 14, discussion and possible action to consider the Brown Tract Development Agreement between the City of Brookshire and developers IDV Development Service and D.R. Horton and affiliates.
Good evening, Mayor Pro Tem and aldermen and alderwomen. If you guys do not remember, my name is Aaron Carpenter. I'm an attorney at Allen Boone Humphreys Robinson, and we serve as counsel to IDV Development Services here, who is partnering with D.R. Horton and 4-Star on a potential development of the Brown Tract, which is out the southwest corner of Interstate 10 and FM 1489, and located in the ETJ of the City of Brookshire. IDV is planning on developing about 1,800,000 square feet of light industrial development, and D.R. Horton and 4-Star are working on trying to bring about 650 single-family homes to the area. We came in front of council with a term sheet on February 6th outlining our proposal, and the outcome of that was moving forward with negotiations with the city. Since that time, we've worked with staff in coming up with a development agreement and supplemental materials to try to effectuate what we talked about on February 6th. And we're here today to ask for approval of that, but we're also here today to ask for any questions or input, and if you guys would like to outline what we believe are the benefits to the community of the project. And I'm also joined here with members of D.R. Horton and IDV to answer questions on the project as much as possible. Thank you.
Yes. Could you outline the benefits?
So I want to start, by also not saying, this is a ETJ, deal is how we've structured it. And I don't want to, say an extraterritorial jurisdiction deal. We're not asking to be annexed in to the city and provide those property tax benefits, because that's not something that, as landowners, potential developers, that we are obligated to do. In some ways, in state law, many developers in this context will opt out and try to sever any relationship with the city. That's not something that we want to do. And we want to do that because the cost of this development is very high. It's hard to develop now. The cost to drill a water well, to develop a wastewater treatment plant have gone up, and we think they will go up. Right now it's estimated at $50 million at a minimum to bring this development in. And we need the ability to put a special district, municipal utility district, over this area to finance that. But if we do that, it's not going to be affecting the city's budget. We're bringing growth to the city. It will be commercial growth on the intersection. It will be jobs. We're estimating about 1,000 jobs. A large chunk of this will be light industrial development. We don't have tenants or leases inked. The IDV team isn't at that stage of development. But if there is sales tax generated and the point of sale is there, we are proposing a 50-50 structure that incentivizes us to try to go out and get it. And if we get it, we share that with Brookshire. And I think mostly we want to show that there's an opportunity to provide growth in the ETJ and the old model before the law has changed. And we want to do it with the city. And we want to provide a long-term home. You know, in the end, once we're done with this infrastructure, and it's not short-term, it's not immediate, but it's better than the alternative where it's just out. And we want it in the long term to be in. And I want to end with, you know, I've worked with these guys, you know, and I've also worked with many developers who I wouldn't be here and be having this discussion because they'd say, you know, you guys can opt out of this. That's not something you want to do. We're here in good faith because we want to strike a deal, work with the city that we're adjacent to, and, you know, try to find the right outcome, and we believe this is the right one. And we really appreciate the time and consideration of everyone with staff and everyone on council thus far, and we believe those are our benefits.
Well,
I have a couple of questions, if that's okay. So, I was reading through all of this that you provided, and I note that there is an annexation in here for the property, I mean, for the use tax and the sales tax, not including property tax. That's in the agreement. I've heard twice now in these presentations that they hope to, in the long term, at some point, that this portion would be completely annexed into the city. I don't see anything that reflects that in this agreement anywhere. Did I miss that, Mr. Olson? Okay. Okay. I didn't see anything addressing that in this agreement.
And under the current law, and I'm open to, you know, David can correct me, but under the current law, if you are in the ETJ, you would, you know, you have protections from being annexed affirmatively by a city.
Correct.
Here, what we're aiming to do is allow some protection to say, we want to be able to, as a district, issue bonds to reimburse the infrastructure. But until that time, there would not be a process, you know, you'd have to have that autonomy. Once that is done, we would be aiming to allow for a process under the law that's in effect under the SPA to allow for the full annexation to the city.
So,
And is
I just want to just say that this is my opinion, and I know it's probably also the hopes of the council that Brookshire can benefit and grow. We're pro-developers, pro-development. But I'm looking at your agreement, and I read through it. You offer the 50-50 split, and that's after all of your infrastructure is paid for. And when after you get reimbursed for all of your development. And I see this as a 45-year agreement. And it tells me that the annexation will not happen until you're fully paid and all of your infrastructure is put in place. Is that correct?
That is correct, but we do 45, and you know, we're very open on feedback to the agreement. I want to be clear about that. This is our draft. We know it's a push and pull process with the city. 45-year term is common in these agreements. There's usually a long term that would occur. The actual infrastructure reimbursement, you know, I think I speak on behalf of these guys, but they aim to put lots on the ground, sell it very quickly. A lot of the acreage is from large warehouse development. The value would be expected to grow quickly, and we would be incentivized to issue bonds as soon as possible to do the reimbursement. It wouldn't be through the entire life of the bonds. It would then turn into a decision of the city of Brookshire as to whether they wanted to exercise their rights to do the full purpose annexation.
But my question to you, sir, is how long will it be before we get the 50-50 split?
Oh, the 50-50 split,
Yes.
as soon as sales tax starts, is generated by the tract. So the first sales tax that's there, we would set our district up as soon as possible. And, you know, that could be as soon as the commercial tract develops, light industrial, end of next year, so 2020, end of 2026, 2027. When those receipts are done, the split would happen immediately.
In that negotiation with the special districts, would that be the MUD?
That would be the MUD.
Okay. And could they not negotiate with us if they choose not to do so?
The mud that I expect that you guys would be working with that would have the sales tax being generated in the industrial, I think they would be a mud that would be highly incentivized to be working with you guys, because they want the 50-50 split. They get nothing without it. And this would not, I do not believe it'd be likely you'd have residents in the early stages. You would have people that understand these agreements and want to make good on the deal that was contemplated here.
Can we sign some agreements beforehand?
Would we sign?
Can we sign some agreements? Excuse me. Can we sign some agreements? And I'm just asking you this question.
Yeah.
Beforehand, because and if this moves forward and you do those special districts, can we sign some agreements to say that the 50-50 split is going to happen as you just explained beforehand?
I think what we have here is about as far as you, and I look over at David.
And that's fine, I think,
As far as where we can push it, because and I could explain it.
Go ahead.
We got to go to the Texas Commission on Environmental Quality, and we have to say, here's who's willing to serve on our board. Before this is a binding action, it'll be 5 people that are government officials, but they are in the early stages especially. They're trying to make good on the development structure. And I do not believe, especially with this here, where you have a agreement that's going to be upon the land and say the district that is formed here, that is a fundamental part of the reason why the city of Brookshire allowed this district to occur. They would be, much like you guys have obligations under this agreement, they would find themselves in a position where they would need to enter into that strategic partnership agreement. And, we would be, I believe, likely serving as counsel to that district, just like we've been counsel to the developer here, and we would strongly advise them of any, against any deviation from that.
Okay.
There's a cost, what he's saying is this agreement's gonna run with the land, so it contractually obligates the district to comply with the rules established in this agreement. As far as, I think what you're leading towards is getting more of a timeline established via agreement. I'm not sure that that's.
Well, I don't read what you just said in here. I read that all of the infrastructure will need to be paid for first, and your reimbursements will have to happen before the 50-50 split.
No.
Okay.
And if it needs to be corrected and made more clear,
Yes.
we are happy to do that, because it is not contingent on the
Okay.
full purpose.
Because that's why I asked the question originally, because I was also reading that as that this was like contingent upon after you guys get paid back.
This would be, and the problem is with where we are, we're trying to set up a structure as a developer now to put a mud in place to enter into this deal, because we can't do it as a private entity. You have to have a district. So we have to go through that process, and we need y'all's consent to form that district.
Okay. I mean, if we could get that more clear in the agreement, and how would the water district be affected by this program you have here?
We've been working with the water district. There's a portion of this tract that is in the water district, and we're in active discussions to try to get service from the water district in that area. Part of this agreement is also saying, look, we are trying to put in place water supply and wastewater treatment services, and if there's excess capacity, or if there's the ability for us to collaborate, beyond just trying to be good neighbors, we'd be contractually obligated to be reaching out and doing it. And
Okay.
and some of this isn't just me, some of this is also some of the rest of the team who isn't here tonight, but they've been taking time with their council and their staff to try to make sure that, one, we respect our autonomy and our rights to develop, but two, that we're working with the water district and getting everything set
Well,
in an appropriate
sounds like
manner.
there's some room for negotiation. And the 50-50 split's gonna bring tax revenue in for the city of Brookshire. And I know the annexation thing will happen later on down in the years and everything, and hopefully it won't be too far long ago that we don't end up with some aging infrastructure that has reached its useful life, But
And after you do get annexed, you could have a limited district to help
Right.
the operations. So this industrial development you could have an overlaying tax rate that's a little lower, but it could help the city out for that maintenance.
And in this agreement, I think it says that you all can sell at some point in time if y'all wanted to. Is that correct?
It would be, well, the idea is that we would, of course, when we develop, the idea would be to sell to the folks that we'll be building. You know, we intend to build public infrastructure, so whether they're building separate lots and selling them to end users,
Okay.
or it would be also to large industrial developers. Sometimes it's, you know, someone comes in, you know, you're selling it, you want to make sure that, but the development would be coming from the IDV and Horton guys, but they obviously want to sell the land in there for separate ownership.
And you all, so you all want the city of Brookshire to petition Waller County to bring the land, I think it may be 37 acres, into the ETJ.
Oh, we would, the remainder, yes. I think what we're aiming for all of this is consistency on the development. So if there is the opportunity, and there's anything remaining that needs to be in the ETJ, or anything in the corporate limits that needs to be in the ETJ, the proposal is consistency.
Okay.
That's the proposal in the agreement as it stands. And it wouldn't, Waller County would not be involved, except we would want to obviously tell them where the ETJ lies and keep them updated on the maps. It would be something that we would do as landowners to provide to you guys. It'd be a petition. And I mean, we'd be back here with the petitions, preparing all of this, you know, with the approval of the development agreement, and we look forward to working with you guys.
I agree with the sentiments of the Mayor Pro Tem. I'd like to see us get some clarification over the 50/50. I'd also like to.
I will say, and I will make clear in the agreement, that the timing is, you know, some of this is, okay, we want to make sure we don't want to be exact on timing, but I think we got to build in covenants to get you guys comfortable, and they will say, the district, as soon as it is formed and it has a board and it is authorized to do so, we'll place that on the agenda, and that will be a part of the development agreement, and we will make clear that there is no phase-in or 45-year wait period for the sales tax.
Right.
As soon as that sales tax is generated, we would be saying, look, we want it, y'all want it, we're splitting it. And if that's part of the deal, you know, I will make sure that is in the document, and we will also ensure that, you know, the MUD understands that that's a very important part of the deal when it's created.
I'd also like to see us.
Recognize that what he's talking about, I think it's how this agreement would be read anyways, but I think it's a good idea to clarify this.
Yeah, I agree.
I'd also like to see us have some clarification around how the eventual end-use annexation 40 years down the road would take place, what would trigger those things, how do we look at that point in time? It's really just, it's kind of, you guys have mentioned it verbally twice, but I don't see anything in here.
There's a section on
Yeah.
annexation that talks about
Where is it? I was just looking for it again, I
Is
couldn't
it
find
Article
it.
5?
Yeah.
Is it section 5?
Article 5 of the SPA.
Yeah, Article 5, I was just looking there.
Explains how it happens. And
I didn't see anything in there that talked about that eventual. Article 4? Which one?
in the development agreement.
4,
Sec 4.0 annexation,
4.0.
page 9. Page 9. Mid
01 annexation, first section in Article.
mid page 9.
Not the strategic partnership agreement, ETJ.
Oh, it's in, I'm looking at the wrong contract. Okay. There's two agreements in here. I'm looking at the second one, or the first one. Okay. Can I read what you read real quick?
Just what I have underlined.
Oh, yes, okay. We're on the same page here.
So will the sales tax be split continuously forever after?
Until annexation.
As long as this agreement is in place, or we take certain steps to nullify the agreement.
Yeah, until annexation, and then it would accrue, all of it would accrue then to the benefit of the city at the end.
It's just kind of vague. It says until the terms and conditions set forth above have been.
Some of it is the law, and annexation is dynamic, so we don't want to overprescribe in some ways.
Mr. Olson, it's.
Law and annexation, we will both parties agree, has been in flux for a while.
for a
Yes,
while.
So
yeah.
there's really no way to anticipate what it's gonna look like whenever.
40
that's
years from now.
resolved and this is even an issue.
I just want to be sure that,
He's just kind of referring to generally chapter 43 and whatever rights we.
I just want to be sure as our attorneys that that you feel comfortable that we are being protected.
Yes.
Okay.
I want to say this. When you came the first time, I said I wanted both parties to be happy. But then I just assumed, maybe my assumption was wrong, that we would have some sort of developers meeting. You said you met with staff? It was just you?
He and I working over the phone, kind of giving stuff to staff to look at, but
Well, I would have thought that maybe council member or someone else would have been involved with it, or we wouldn't. I don't think would be talking about this, and I'm not really sure about your agreement with the water district.
Well, there's another redhead representing us on the municipal water district, Sam Johnson. So I haven't been at all those meetings, but I do hear we do report and talk
That
about
one was very concerning to me as far as, pumping your,
Pub and Hall.
pumping your sewer, having us treated and all that, this stuff.
Oh.
That was concerning, so that is gonna be going back before the board to consider. And I just wanted to let the council know that we too are still in the negotiating phase with this project, so,
I would like to see a joint developers meeting with the water district and representatives from the city to work this out.
Okay.
That's my recommendation before we move forward with it.
But
Ms. Green, can I ask you a clarifying question? The acreage that fronts 1489 that's in the city's boundaries, is the current proposal that would no longer be the responsibility of the Brookshire Municipal Water District, or what?
15.6 will now remain with the Brookshire Municipal.
So
That's what was the de-annexation.
it would stay? Okay.
So I'm out with the Fulton. So the discussion we have is, part of the DA agreement is for that 15.8 to be from the city limits, put in the ETJ just for the consistency that I'm still talking about. But we're leaving it in the boundaries for the district.
It's in our boundaries, but you're asking to have it removed from the city's boundaries? See, we didn't understand that, we just thought we were leaving it totally. I don't think the city is understanding that as well, that you were still wanting to remove that 15.8 out of the city.
This is why I think it would be good, as Mr. Green suggested, that we have some sort of a joint meeting with all three of the entities together in the same room.
Yeah, and I think that's, so on our part, I think we've sent this over. We've been very open about wanting to hear feedback, whether it is from the city attorney, city secretary, any member of council, and that's why we're pleased to have the opportunity to hear tonight and have this on the agenda. So I do agree with Al. That is how it currently stands. We want to have the ability, as much financial capability we can to reimburse, but we also, I think, when our talks with the water district, want to respect their boundaries, and they've been very open about collaborating and trying to meet their service demands.
Okay,
And
well,
but it's a complicated.
I think,
set of deal.
we're on the right track and we should be able to get something worked out. If we can get the 50-50 split worked out, then there's going to be a lot of good tax revenue for the city, and hopefully we can get the water district thing worked out. So we're on the right track. Just do that developers meeting, and I know you all want to get this done as fast as possible, and we'll have some good homes for people to buy, because when you have residents, then retail would come. you know, so that's just good growth for the city, so, yeah.
Mayor Pro Tem, do you want to go ahead and, just in the interest of time and moving this forward, establish who of council wants to participate in that, represent the city's interest in that meeting?
I'll be there.
You'll be there?
I'll be there.
Okay.
Y'all can handle it? Can't have it.
No, I mean, I
Only two of them. Only
council
two.
can be there.
Yeah, I'm just asking, is there anybody else that want to be in there?
Depending on how things work out in 2 weeks, I would be happy to participate in that.
Okay, good. All right,
But
we'll be in touch.
We really appreciate the time and the feedback, and we'll get to work as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 more items on here. They shouldn't take long. 9 more items before we go in executive session. So item number 15, discussion and possible action to utilize property located at 3837 10th Street for business. Marco Gomez. Yes, sir. Can you come up to the podium, please? Good evening.
Good evening, Mayor and council members, as well as the city staff. My name is Jonathan Gomez, and I'll be representing my father, Marco Gomez, who is developing I'm representing him because he has limited English, but he can still reply to questions. So, so to start off, since 2021, we have made consistent and sincere efforts in order to develop a construction in 10th Street. However, for over the past 3 years, our progress has brought a standstill due to the critical infrastructural barrier, which has been the absence of a drainable ditch. So despite following all preliminary procedures and maintaining open communication with the appropriate offices, there has not been any feasible solution in order to provide our development to make our development move forward. We'd also like to speak about the injustice that there's been in the other properties that there are there. So right now we see that there are other establishments such as the Signal Power Group and the GNR Motors Auto Sales, which has been allowed to establish operations in the same stretch of road, which is the 10th Street. And by what we see, they've been established around 2021 and 2022. This also leads to a question of the equity and consistency in the way that permits, drainage solutions, and development approvals are being applied. And we would like to ask why our project has been stalled while others have moved forward. And we'd also like to add the financial investment that we made with the Brookshire Municipal Water District. So we've already invested nearly $18,000 in drainage-related infrastructure through the water district, and we did it believing that it would enable us to begin the construction. But however, to this day, that investment has produced no tangible progress, nor has it been matched with action or guidance from the city. So we'd also like to add the obstruction of the signage effort, so that's something additional, which is the billboard that we'd like to establish there. So we attempted to install a billboard in order to promote the upcoming business, but however, this also was blocked, and we haven't been given a clear reason why. So that's why we've contacted Mr. Craig Kalkomi, who is the city engineer, to request assistance and clarification. However, unfortunately, we've received no responses, and yeah. We've sent tons of emails to which we've received very brief replies or inconsistent replies to where we have to follow up for like 3 times. And then they also give us an email to which we had to contact, and then they let us know that that was the email that we had to contact, which we exchanged multiple emails, but after that we just received no reply after our next email.
What, I have one question. What, $18,000, what did y'all do for drainage? Did you say, did you?
To the left. So those are the checks that we
Yeah, but what did you do? What kind of work, what type of work did y'all do?
I'm gonna try to explain in my English.
Mhm.
It's because when I started, I had this project because I do truck charts. So I have 2 locations, one by southwest side of Houston,
Mhm.
and the one on the north side. So I was trying to open this third one, which I was named Texans Truck Charts. So all this I started I was trying to, I buy a land by 10th Street. And when I was trying to submit, like to get permits to it. So since I don't know about Brookshire City, the steps to so I think I came over here to ask some questions, can't remember exactly because that was a long time ago. So I went to the city of water.
Mhm.
So they require me to. They asked me what I'm gonna do there, and how many square footage of building can I.
Sure.
So when I been there, they asked me the size, everything. I took the plan to them and presented what I'm gonna. What was it? Develop.
develop.
Develop. Yeah. Over there, so I showed what I have like a little over here. Okay, so the land is right here, right on the corner, at the beginning of the street. So they by the size of the building I'm trying to do, so they go by square footage. So they charge me all this. But after this thing been done.
So did you spend money on drainage? Did you dig any ditches? Did you put in any culverts? Did you, because you all said that you spent $18,000 on drainage.
Yeah, I mean.
And I'm just trying to, because I'm just trying to understand.
But that's
Yeah,
for the
that, oh, did you put sewer?
Water,
Okay.
but they supposed to charging me for all
Oh.
that because of the size of the building I'm going to be
Okay.
making over there. But which
Okay.
my son said it never got permitted.
Okay.
Because of the ditch. So now
Yeah.
I'm losing money, and the engineer he charged me like a prepayment of
Right.
15,000. So I'm already spending too much.
Okay, so you spend money on engineering costs. So could you, LJA, and I'm looking at this document here.
Yeah.
If
Can I
you
see
don't
that?
mind, can you come up, please? Because you all went out and said that some improvements need to be made on this street for drainage, right? Okay, but could you let us know specifically why this work need to be done that prevents this?
Their business could actually go without the improvements. They would just have to provide a lot of detention. And because it's shallow land, they couldn't provide, like, it wouldn't be, it had to be a bigger pond than what they could actually probably use to survive to build something like that, correct? So they could move forward, but they would have to use up most of their land detention. So for improvements, the only thing we can do is expand the text dot ditch, because that's what runs in front of that.
Text dot ditch.
Text dot ditch.
Uh-oh, okay.
It's not our ditch. says that we gave them a name, he's trying to contact TxDOT to
Oh,
ask for permission to dump into their ditch, which their ditch is only for their right of way. It's not for any improvements along 10th Street.
okay. Because the city of Brookshire, I went to look at this today, right? The city of Brookshire already dug out the ditch that's right adjacent to their property. The city of Brookshire dug that ditch out all the way. So the ditch that we're speaking of is right between the freeway. That long little shadow ditch belongs to TxDOT. And you're saying that this area will flood if his business is placed there. It's a potential to flood. I mean,
It's not just, well, I mean, yeah, there is business over there. Concrete, but the problem is we can't give him the go-ahead to dump into that ditch. We don't have permission for that. That's a TxDOT right-of-way ditch. So he has to get that permission from them.
well, how would he dump into that ditch? No, what I'm asking is that if he goes and builds his tarp business there, then the runoff from his property is what you're speaking of. The runoff from his property will go into the city's ditch first, right? And the city doesn't have the capacity for it. Okay. And how many acres do you have, sir? 1 acre. And it requires a detention because of what he's building. Is that what you're saying? And so basically, let me explain to you. So you have 1 acre, and the engineer is saying that when you place your building there, that the runoff from the rain that comes down will drain is too much when it drains into the city ditch, and then have to go into TxDOT's shallow ditch. Okay, and that's the issue. And to get around that, you would have to dig a detention pond on your property that would take up most of your land, and we don't know if you will have enough room for your building if you do that.
Okay, I'm building right now. I have another property under construction in the city of Houston. And they made me to make I'm gonna look for the picture where they dig it, but it's like a 9-foot diameter pipe, and it's like 140 feet long, 4 pipes laid on the ground, and then like right now, like we just passed inspection today, so they already covered right now. But I have pictures, so I'm
Underground detention.
But yeah, underground detention. But I never get the approval to give me that option. I never
Oh, okay.
So I need to know before I proceed, like spending more money, if I will be allowed to do that.
So you're saying that you will be willing to do an underground detention because you've done it already at your other land. Okay. So then that means that you have to go to BKDD, Brookshire Drainage, Katy Drainage District, and you talk to them about this new plan.
Buddy is sending me to I don't know, JL, I don't know.
I'm sorry, but you went to BKD. No, hold it. You went to BKD and you talked to them about the underground detention. Is that correct or not? Okay.
He's sending me to
Okay.
Brave
LJA. Right here. Yeah. So you saying BKD and BKD saying LJA. So we need.
They may be talking about sending him to their engineers. Who represents the Katy Brookshire Drainage District? Engineer-wise, do we know? Is that ask them if that's the company they're talking about?
You said LJF?
I don't know.
Okay. Could you work with them please, and get this worked out, because it seems like there may be a viable solution here with a new type of underground detention. Yeah. Huh? Well, I mean, I'm not saying that you all have plans. I'm saying if you could work with them, give them the proper guidance to go to whoever. If you could do it. Thank you. Yeah. Okay.
One more thing, they talked about the billboards.
Mm-hmm.
We stated it, and it's in y'all's ordinance, billboards are not allowed.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
We have told them that they are allowed to ask TxDOT, which TxDOT is also not
Right.
allowing city
Yeah.
billboards.
No billboards.
Did you have any other discussion? Oh, you're gonna take care of that, sir? Thank you.
So do you understand what we're gonna do? We're gonna hook you guys up with our engineer, and they're gonna chat with you and help you guys figure out the game plan of exactly who you need to talk to, where you need to go to get your next steps done. We don't believe it's with the city, but we're gonna point you in the actual right direction, and our engineer's gonna help you do that.
And the billboards, there's no billboard.
No billboard.
Okay, I just have a quick question about the billboard. So we just, whenever we passed by 10th Street, we saw these billboards.
Yeah, it was, how you say,
Grandfathered.
grandfathered in. So we made an ordinance not to have any more billboards. It was, that billboard was grandfathered in. It's been here for years.
Okay.
But the new ordinance states that we are not allowing any more billboards.
Okay, so these were made before the
That
law.
was,
Before the
they called
ordinance.
grandfathered in. They was been here for years.
Okay.
Pero, okay, excuse me, but there is like, on the city, ¿cómo se llama? Ordenanza, de donde dice de que si el billboard es como eso y es usado para mi deberían de.
You what?
So the in the city ordinances where we read the section, we saw that it said something like, if it's promoting another service or product that's
But
not
did
ours.
you see the little smile? It's like that little. It's like, it's not high. It's probably like, you remember when we voted for that? Yeah. So it's like a sign, kind of like a mailbox kind of sign, but it's a little sign that states this is the Tarpon Company or whatever. But the height of it, it can't be like that. You have to go like what the size, like the ordinance say. Yeah, right, monuments, right. Yeah, so it has to be a monument. It can't be a billboard.
Just a regular sign.
Yeah, the monument, like,
But a regular sign for my business, it's allowed, right, to do that?
it's a monument. Whatever that ordinance say, that's what you got to go by. You cannot go by the billboard. Right,
You're talking about something that's not way up in the air, it's on the ground.
right, right,
On the ground.
In size that we allow.
right.
Can do, to have a sign.
Every business is allowed on, what they call an on-premise sign, which is advertising the business in which the sign is from. We'll spend a little time talking about it.
Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, item number 16. Discussion and,
Excuse me, sir.
oh,
Scream at me if
Thank you.
something comes up.
okay. Discussion and possible action, review and approve the structure on the property located at 509 Solomon Lane. Sal Abasi? Abasi.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Mayor Pro Tem, Council. So I'm here today to get approval on what's called an iPod house. It's only 91 square feet. We are cleaning the property up, and we'd like a place where we can wash our tools or our boots. There's a pond in the back with a lot of trash and tires and stuff like that. So when we get back there, you get pretty dirty. This has like a little shower and stuff like that in there. It's smaller than a shed. It's only 91 square feet. We're not going to keep it there forever, of course. Once everything's cleaned up and everything, we'll probably come back and see what we can do. That's it in a nutshell.
Right now, the city has an ordinance against that does not approve what you're trying to place there. Okay? And, so we can't allow it. It's not gonna be approved, sir.
Can we still get water connected to the property so we have water, there's a meter there.
No.
We can't have water?
Yeah,
I
you
believe
have to go to the water district.
Water is
and-
contingent
yeah,
upon
yeah, right.
having occupancy, and you don't have occupancy,
Right.
so they can't provide water because you don't have an occupancy permit.
Right, we don't have anything to get an occupancy permit for.
Right,
Just
Right.
right.
If you want to build a regular house out there and put it up
Yeah.
and get it permitted, then you'll get an occupancy permit and water will be turned on. But right now, since there's no occupancy permit for that property, they can't provide water.
But, you know, to get an official answer, go to the water district, and they'll give you some advice on whatever you need to do, okay?
Okay, all right.
All right. Thank you. Item number 17. Discussion and possible action to have Waller County collect City of Brookshire taxes. Is that Miss Corner?
So myself and Mr. Green have been communicating with the new tax assessor, tax collector for the Waller County. And what we're trying to do is right now, see if she could possibly get us over her scope of work and the cost. She should be sending us something shortly. We have already requested those things so we can present it to the council. No decisions or anything has been made. We just wanted to look and see what she has to offer, since for many years they refused to accept our taxes, and we had our own in-house tax assessor, tax collectors. So it's just that, it's just an option. We could go back that way, or we could choose another option. But we just wanted to make sure that we explore all the options, at least meet and greet and get to know the new tax assessor collector.
When I spoke to her, she informed me that the charge would be $1 per account, which I think is a pretty good deal. And it would also allow the citizens to actually go to one particular location to pay their taxes and not having to go to 2 different places.
So do we want to table this discussion until you guys get that report back?
Yes,
But
sir.
I have a question, real quick. So are you saying that the City of Brookshire did not have to have a contractor to collect taxes as we are right now?
Yes, sir. We were in a bind. When Miss Claudia Harrison left, she was our tax assessor, tax collector. So when she left, it was necessary that we had to get a contract with someone.
Well, what I'm asking is that, because I know the Waller County Tax Assessor's Office still doing the same function over there, so I'm just asking that, is that if we had to go out and get a subcontractor because the previous administration just refused to take it, and now, okay, they just refuse to take it.
None of the, to take the taxes, or are you
To
saying to accept?
assess. We could collect here, and then they would assess over there, right?
But
So,
no one in the office, except for Miss Yolanda, is a tax collector.
I'm
And
talking about,
As far as assessing, we didn't have one.
no, we didn't have so
No.
we haven't,
Miss Claudia Harrison left, no, we didn't have one, and Miss Ellen refused to take our taxes at the time. She's no longer in office anymore in
so,
Waller County.
so the current administration will allow the City of Brookshire to collect,
We can collect.
and even when Ms. Sherborne was here, we could collect. Is that right or not?
We could collect.
We could have collected. Right now, we could, when Ms. Sherburne was in office, we could collect, and she would do the second piece. She just refused, but she could have.
Yes.
Is that correct?
She refused.
She could have. Okay, that's what I'm trying to understand is that we could have still been collecting taxes here,
Yes.
but we couldn't because she refused over there.
Previous
Okay.
council asked multiple times from the county, and the county just refused multiple times, yeah.
Okay.
First, the previous council had agreed with assessment of the Southwest to have a kiosk, am I correct?
You correct.
Set up in this building where the tax collectors could come in and actually we could assist them with paying their taxes here, right? On the kiosk, that never happened.
Right.
Okay.
So that was the biggest problem with the
That's what I was going back and forth with that, because a lot of the elderly couldn't do it. They was,
Okay.
even if she assessed it, we could have collected
Right.
it, and we could have collected our own money.
That's what I was asking. Yes.
But
yes.
since she refused to assess them, it was a moot point, and we had to find a contractor.
If I'm not mistaken, when we went out for a city secretary and a
Administrator. Right, right. They were. That they were, neither one of them had them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
right, when they got hired.
Okay. So, yes, yes, ma'am.
I just want to suggest to the council that y'all consider, even if the county does agree to do it, that you do get someone
In-house.
in-house as an assessor collector. They don't have to do the actual assessing, but they would have the knowledge to make sure that whatever's happening in the county, that this city is still getting the proper information, the proper payments,
Right,
and that there is someone who actually knows how that goes.
right. I agree.
Thank you for that. Okay, so,
Item 18.
we're gonna table it until you get more, okay,
Yes.
okay, no action. No action right now. All right, number 18, item 18, moving right along. Discussion of possible action waiving permit fees for FFA Spring Fling at Hovis Park. Mr. Green.
I spoke with one of the board members for the FFA, and they are doing a fundraiser called the Spring Fling, and they wanted to see if we would waive their fees because it is a fundraiser for the school FFA program. Yes, ma'am.
Why are we charging them fees to have something at Hovis Park?
Yeah, 'cause it's a public park.
That's
They
a
was-
public park.
So I had, Miss Abigail, I don't have her last name, but, she came and asked me and Miss Wanda if there was a fee for that, and we told her no, because it is the Hovis Park, and the Hovis Park is open to the public. And
Right.
First come, first served. So she was aware there was no fee that needed to be paid for.
Okay.
Okay.
Then we just finished the conversation, let me clarify something, because I've been speaking with her as well. They want vendors out there in the park.
Okay,
Oh,
that's
okay.
what we need
Oh,
to
it's
know.
the
That's what
vendor
we need
fee.
to know.
Okay.
Okay,
Oh, okay.
Mr. Green,
Okay.
we need more information.
I'm trying to get them here.
What would you do without Mrs. Green?
I don't think it's a problem.
I had some help.
Mr. Mayor Pro Tem, she's actually having trouble getting vendors, and I spoke to her today. She's actually having trouble.
Okay. And so what is the Spring Fling? I mean, what's gonna happen out there? I mean,
They're gonna have, so she said, vendors to raise money for the FFA. They'll be selling food.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
There'll be games. I mean,
I don't know the
I done-
detail.
never done it.
I've been trying to get them here.
I can help you because I've been speaking with her. She's kind of been, it's with the FFA, but they have this every year. They have it at different locations. I think last year was the fire department. They do a raffle, they sell food, they have vendors. And all the money that's raised, they use it and give to the seniors for scholarships.
They didn't do it for ours. I'm just saying, our kids didn't get, I'm just trying to figure it out.
okay.
But all the money that they raise, they use it, to give to the seniors for scholarships, so it's really good.
Okay. Good. Thank you.
Did we
Ready
receive
to
any kind of
waive?
official request? I mean, I don't see anything like in writing or anything from the FFA or anything requesting.
We have,
No,
This
I
waiver-
spoke with one of the board members, and I told him I would put it on the agenda.
So waiving the vendor permit fee. That's what 15. How much is that? The vendor
35,
permit.
I think.
35.
30,
$35 a vendor?
35. But if they
$35 per
need a-
vendor?
If they
So,
need a, what's the name, it's 50.
Do we want
If they
to?
need like a generator or something, like if they was doing it from the city,
a lot of
it would
talking
be
going on.
50.
Miss B, please state how much the permit fees are.
$30 for the permit and $30 for the administrative fee, so $60.
Okay. Is that your motion, Mr. Green?
Yes.
To waive the fee?
Do we? No, I'm requesting that we waive the fees, all fees, for the school district FFA.
So we would,
Okay.
we would
Can I
provide
get a
them-
second?
We would provide them generators for free?
No, they have to have their own.
Generator.
They got, well, they're gonna do their own
Just
thing, but
permit
I
fee.
said if it was
We have a
from the
fee
city.
if they want a city to provide a generator.
I second.
Are we gonna waive that fee?
I
They
don't
not
think it's
getting no
generators, not
They bring
generators.
their own generator.
Their own. That's
Right.
They would bring their
That's
own
what they're saying, but I don't have anything in writing here, so I'm just asking the clarifying question. We said, your motion was waive all fees for vendors, so I'm asking, does that include?
Would you like to get something in writing, sir?
Wait,
Is that
wait,
what
wait.
you're requesting?
No, what I'm requesting is that we clarify whether that we're going to waive the fee for, if the city provides. Vendor permits, okay, okay. I'm cool with that.
Good with that?
Second, who was second?
That's already seconded by.
I've already seconded.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, thank you. Okay, discussion of possible action, city, I'm sorry.
Okay. All right, thank
Okay, thank you. Item number 19, discussion of possible action, set a workshop date for the master thoroughfare plan. I think we've done this.
Miss Corner,
No, ma'am, it didn't state from, no one directed me to pick any dates for that. I thought y'all were gonna send me dates. No one
I
sent
thought
me.
you were gonna pick dates and send them out to us.
Email.
I
we-
sent dates out for the mid, budget, and no one responded to those, so I haven't sent out any more dates.
Okay, can we set a date and do it on a Wednesday?
It was in my report.
Can we set a date? Or do we? This is something that we've been trying to get done
Long time.
for quite a while. Let's see,
What about,
May, have to be the second or third week of May
you got
for
the
me.
7th or the 14th?
The 14th will give everyone enough time to clear their schedule? If we tentatively say the 14th, can we agree on that? May 14th? Oh,
We have to be careful because we're gonna go into the time that we have to do the, casting of the votes, canvassing of the votes.
yeah, that's what I meant, that we're in the voting season, so.
I thought you do them, like on that regular council day. That's
It doesn't have a big, it's 7 days from the date of
Okay.
election call. So it's not a particular meeting, because you can even call a special meeting for it, but you just have to do it within a certain amount of days.
Could we do both of those things at the same meeting? I mean, normally the canvassing takes 5 minutes.
Yep, you can always do it that way, but I'm not sure what the date that I'm gonna,
So we have to do it
Canvass
in
the
7 days, so we have to do it by the 10th, right, of May, the
So
canvass?
can we do 21st then?
you have to wait 7 days to
Oh,
canvass
wait
the
7
vote.
days.
Third week of May?
So the 14th would work perfectly then.
Third week of May then. We can do third week of May.
Or the 14th would work, because that's after 7 days.
Remember what I gotta do?
And
Can
kill
we-
2 birds with 1 stone.
Can we agree on the 14th, evening? 14th,
14th?
7,
14th?
6 p.m., 6 p.m.? Okay,
6 p.m.?
6 p.m.,
And we can
May
do both,
14th, 6 p.m.
and we can do both the canvass and the,
Wait a minute.
yeah, it's,
We're talking about the. Yes.
Yeah.
right, so we start at 6,
Yeah.
that gives us, and we normally go till midnight,
'Cause
2
right-
a.m.
Can
Right.
we make it at 6:15?
Because right now, what's on the agenda is the master thoroughfare
Do it at
plan, so.
6:15, maybe 6:20?
6:15,
6:15, 6:20, because I get off.
okay,
Make it 6:30.
6:30.
Get off at 5,
6:30.
6:30.
and it takes an hour
Okay.
for me to get where I'm at here.
6:30, May 14th,
5,
6:30.
14, 25,
You okay, Ms. Corner?
6:30.
Okay.
Did you say?
Yes.
6:14, 25, 6:30 p.m.
Yes, she'll send out a official notice.
Right.
Okay, item number 20. Discussion and possible action on a final demand letter for the Lakeside HOA for repairs at the outflow.
So we've talked about this a number of times with this outflow from Lakeside. I believe we finally got clarification that that outflow is owned by the Lakeside Development.
Oh.
It is their responsibility to take care of it. And so at this point, we've asked them informally several times to deal with it. I just feel like it's time we make the official final demand that they they perform and take care of the problem.
Okay.
But that does, of course, is if they fail to do that, then that allows us the opportunity to go in and take care of it and charge them for it.
Right.
Maybe. Oh, no, maybe.
This isn't like abating a nuisance where we can assess a lien. In fact, we talked about it this morning. We huddled up about it with Craig Alchemy. He's gonna look at some of the old stuff over that, because I guess he did some work with the drainage district when this originally came up, trying to identify ownership. And I drove out there between our staff meeting today and tonight to look at it, because I'd never seen it, and it had daylight hours, and it's completely collapsed. So, but this thing, where the outfall is, has restrictor plates in it, so there are issues related to capacity in the drainage district. So I'd like the opportunity maybe to piggyback with the drainage district, because they have a vested interest in what's flowing into their ditch too.
Okay.
So they permitted that project with a certain outfall calculation. And they would have put a restrictor in there otherwise. So they've determined that you have too much stuff coming in here during a heavy event. So we're gonna put restrictors on there during that heavy event. You're gonna have to detain it during that and let it slowly, that's not happening anymore. So I'd like to huddle up once I get all this information with the drainage district to see maybe they could probably have a bigger hammer than we do. Just food for thought before we just start issuing demand letters.
Okay. I mean, is that something that can happen in the next week, or does this another 6 months down the road, or where are we at?
It can happen by your next meeting, we'll have it.
And what
I'm
is,
just trying to figure out who the lawyer is. I need to touch base with somebody over there.
I mean, I'm all for figuring out the diplomatic solution and getting it fixed. The problem is it's been an issue for a long
We can
time.
send a demand letter all we want. And if we, let's say we were to go out there and we did have the right to do something about it and then assess a lien against the property. The property is common property. It's owned by the HOA, so there's no ownership other than the assessment to the individual homeowner that live in that neighborhood. So there might be a mechanism for doing that. I'm hoping they will self-correct.
what is the risk here from engineer?
Overflow that ditch that's,
And do we flood homes?
not there, it's next to a, what is that, the chain link fence with it? It's keeping stuff from getting out, whatever it is.
Oh, that's for stormwater solution, or like stormwater prevention or whatever.
Okay.
I mean, if we get a bad weather event, rain,
It's all going south towards Betsy's Creek anyway, so that's all part of that, I assume, just because I know that area, that it's all kind of trickling down in that area, so you were flooding, I don't know.
whatever's down past Bess's Creek. So,
But you're going that way.
okay.
But it
So-
still is an issue, and it has been an issue in the past.
It's an issue that we can address. I want, before we send a legal demand letter, I do want to verify ownership because it has been represented, but that's based on survey information.
Okay, because I know homeowners associations, they don't have any problems,
Yeah,
you know,
assessing extra.
assessing fee, liens and all that, so,
We talked about, Craig is going to give me, he believes the district has a contact with the HOA that I can put in a phone call.
Okay.
I'm hoping that they're represented by counsel. There's only a few law firms that do that kind of stuff, and I'm hoping it's one of those three because I know them, and be like, listen, before we get aggressive with you, why don't you huddle up with your board and come up with a solution? Present
Okay.
it to the city and let's go from there.
okay. Because I just, the city, I guess, will have no liability if we get a rain event and it floods someone further down Bess's Creek, whatever. The city has no liability, right?
No obligation to do anything as a city
Okay.
that includes drainage work, and that, yes, we're not liable.
Okay,
Okay,
thank you.
all right.
Item number 21, discussion of possible action on a request for Scott Injury Industries to waive tax penalties.
This came up at the last meeting, that Scott Industries had paid their taxes past the date, and they were assessed a penalty for that. They had requested that we waive those penalties. The advice of our tax collector was that every time somebody is a day late, that they claim that it's all the problem of the mail system and not their fault. And so their suggestion was that we do not waive the fee because it sets a bad precedent for everybody that comes up in the future a day or two late. And they claimed it was all in the mail.
Also, may I open
Yeah,
up a door
sure.
for the argument between delivery and receipt? So right now, we're talking about, we have a solid receipt
Right.
rule in place, the law supports that, and to deviate from that is going to create a nightmare.
Right.
So my proposal is that we deny this request for the waiver, and we let Scott Industries know that.
Scott Industries, how long they've been in Brookshire here? I mean, was there one of our oldest
Yes.
companies here that,
Oh, wow.
long time?
It's never happened before.
Never happened before.
I say
And how late were they?
It was like
A
couple of
date,
days,
it was,
a day or
they're
something.
saying it was postmarked, the date.
Yeah.
A day late.
Yeah, they say that they took it to the mailbox on January 21st, where it is normally picked up by 5 p.m. They have no idea why it wasn't picked up that day. However, they were closed on February 1st, and so it was postmarked by the post office as a February 1st pickup.
They've been around a long time.
The date for penalty is January 31st. Is that what the problem was?
Right, so the effective date, so if it had been postmarked January 31st, then they wouldn't have had a fee. And it was postmarked February 1st. And
Know how the post office.
their claim is that they placed it in the mailbox before 5 p.m. on that day, and therefore it's the,
Staff is not going to make a recommendation about whether it's a good idea for y'all to consider. I think y'all just need to be aware of
Right.
what kind of issue that may create.
What kind of issue?
that's my
was it?
position, is it creates an untenable situation for the future, so.
Y'all want to distinguish this as a one-thing event, then that's up to y'all.
No,
Nope.
somebody already seconded it, so.
All right,
Who
so
seconded?
You.
can I have a
didn't
motion?
second.
Can I have a motion, please?
I move that we
Motion, I thought you
deny
said
the
second.
Can I have
waiver
second?
request from Scott Industries.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed. Two more items before executive session. Discussion and possible action to replace the commemorative bricks and sequential bricks. Alderman McNally.
So we've had these bricks, the commemorative bricks that were removed out front during the remodeling. There are additional bricks that were purchased during the sesquicentennial celebration for Waller County. And those bricks are sitting over at Public Works, and we've talked several times about getting them relayed, replaced somewhere, somehow, and that nothing has really come forward with making that happen. So I would just like to have us make a plan to get those bricks relayed somewhere in this process. There's a lot of citizens, trust me, I sold the bricks for this, and I probably get 3 contacts a week from somebody asking me what's going to happen with these bricks. And I wasn't even here when the first ones were sold.
So since we've learned, and thank you, Ms. Conner, for bringing all those people out when you brought them out to explain everything that, all the past projects. We've learned that this project out front could continue now. And I actually had a contractor come out last Friday, to look at redoing the sprinklers here and also the landscaping out here in the front. And one thing right there, when you walking down the sidewalk here, there's a narrow flower bed there, really long and narrow. Would be a good spot for those bricks, and you know what I'm talking about, right?
I do.
Just
I
that
love
long,
that idea.
narrow, the little path. That would be a really good spot for those bricks to go there. And so we could incorporate that into, if we can, if please the council, incorporate that into that particular deal that those people came out Friday.
Is there enough, as long as there's enough space? I think
There's
we
enough
could-
space, and even to add more if we wanted
Okay,
to.
okay.
Yes.
Didn't we discuss at the last meeting of giving other people the opportunity to purchase
Yeah.
bricks as well?
I think we
If
did.
people
yeah.
wanted to
Yeah.
purchase bricks now.
Until we run out of room. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that doesn't stop us from getting these bricks
Right.
laid.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
can
And then just
continue
add
to
on.
sell additional bricks if we wish.
Okay.
Okay, so
So I guess my motion would be that we include the relaying of all the commemorative bricks with the
landscape.
beautification
Right.
landscaping project in front of City Hall.
Can I get a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed.
Bite at that apple, because they're gonna propose a plan to you, and it'll incorporate those
Right.
provisions. So you can, I mean, you can adjust it accordingly.
Okay.
Okay. Last, number 23, last item before executive session. Discussion of possible action for use of city administrative vehicle policy. And I had that one. And it's real quick on this one. It's the administrative vehicles, not police cars, that here at City Hall to be pool vehicles that the staff can use, because we had one car that sit out there for months and months, not being used to the point that the tires were just dry rotted. And so I would like to make a motion that those vehicles cannot sit like that, that if they're not being, that they could be used by staff and not just sit here. It's not good for a vehicle to sit, okay? Yes, ma'am.
So on the two vehicles that are out, the admin vehicles, we have, both of them serviced this past month. Made sure both of them were serviced because the tires were dry rotting. So we're gonna get some new tires and stuff, but they have been serviced. We're gonna take off the emblem off of the black one. We've already ordered the new signage for both vehicles so that they'll match the Public Works vehicles. All of the logos will look the same for the city vehicles. So they're gonna come out within a week or two, but I've already approved to go ahead so we can change that out. It's gonna take a little time because the old logo, I guess it looks like it's kind of stuck to it because the vehicle hadn't been washed or taken care of. It just was sitting there for a while. So now we're making sure that both of them are up and running and being used so that they just don't sit there. So at least once a week, if somebody needs it, we make sure that they drive that vehicle so we can try to get it moving and circulating and stuff again. Because I know once before, like, we had to go take care of something and you needed the vehicle. And it was because there's only one vehicle. And I prefer that when you're doing city business, you're in a city vehicle.
Amen.
But
Can I make a suggestion? Oh, go ahead.
I know a special tool that will take that vinyl off of there without damaging the paint. So I'll get with you and I can explain how to use it.
Thank you.
All right.
What about Miss Dunn, since she's out in the community most of the time?
She does use the
Okay.
Right.
Oh, okay. Well, that
So
takes care
now
of
that the second vehicle, the mayor's car is now available for her. Okay. Yeah.
What you said?
Boots on the ground.
Huh?
We didn't hear you. What
I
you
said the mayor's car is now available for her, yes.
What kind of car? What mayor car?
The one that was sitting is available for her.
The
Yes.
one that's right there?
Yeah.
It was just for the mayor?
Yeah.
When did
I
that
thought
happen?
that was a city.
I thought it was a city vehicle.
Me
But-
too. So when it was just hit, I don't understand.
So we fixed it now, and we
No,
just.
my question to you is,
That was prior to, we don't know.
when was it just a mayor's vehicle? It was included as a city vehicle, so anyone,
Okay.
even city council could use the vehicle. I have never heard of that.
Okay.
So I'm asking, you
Well,
We should be asking y'all.
that's what I'm asking.
We should be asking y'all.
okay.
What you mean, y'all?
Let me
No,
just say
because
this.
when-
Let me just say this. It's in use
I
now.
was
Yeah.
on council, it was a city vehicle, not the mayor's vehicle,
Okay.
literally.
I never heard it
So
called
that
the
you
mayor's
asked me,
vehicle.
but I'm telling you, that wasn't correct.
Well, maybe there was a miscommunication, but we've got it resolved now.
Oh,
And-
well,
and so,
okay.
yeah. Thank you. Okay.
Right.
All right, so executive session, city council will meet in closed session pursuant in Title 5, Chapter 551 of Texas Government Code for the purpose of consultation with legal counsel. Council will meet in executive session to conduct economic development negotiations required by Section 551 087 of the Texas Government Code. Council will convene in executive session pursuant to Section 551 074 of the Texas Government Code to consider personal issues and duties of public officers and employees, city secretary, police chief, public works director, and municipal clerk.
So which,
Time is 9:39.
they talking about the black one or which one? Which one?
Keith?
The black one?
Let us know. Okay, we're back.
Okay, we're back at 10:25 from executive session,
There you go.
10:25. Discussion and consider action results from executive session. There was no action taken. Okay, 26, future agenda items. Ms. McDade.
I don't have anything right now.
Okay. I have 1, 2, 3, what, 4. The road dividers in Lakeside subdivision, the explanades. Discussion and possible action to remove the road dividers in Lakeside subdivision. Got that, Ms.?
Yes.
Discussion and possible action to hire an auditor for Wells Fargo and New First Bank accounts. Discussion and possible action to review the City of Brookshire background checks. And then the last one is review tax abatement agreement with Grunfos. Or as you need to do that, or you can?
I think at that point, we're gonna work with staff to come up with, in fact, Charles and I are meeting first.
Okay, so I don't need to do it.
No, I think it's okay to put
Okay.
something on there about Grunfos, because we're gonna propose a timeline to staff and to complete this timeline.
Okay, I want to make sure that we,
Creation of a TERS, and they'll be in
I do have
consideration
one
of the
thing.
development agreement.
okay. Yes, Ms. McDade?
Yes, I would like to discuss and possibly approve to have the Brady removed from the 2 officers.
Well, we don't establish Brady's, but we can talk about that.
I mean, not have it removed here, but contact the courts.
That's fine. Put it on
Okay,
for discussion.
okay. Word it how you want to word it, but yeah, that part.
You got the name, don't you?
I don't even think we need to put the names.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ms. McNally?
I have a couple of items that are just follow-ups, updates, and I don't know if they can be one agenda item or if they need to be several, but I'd like to get an update on where we are with the bidding process that we requested at last council meeting for the road repairs. I'd like to get an update on what's happening with the installation of the speed bumps and church signs on South Street, and an update on what's happening with the street survey on Kellner, the traffic study for Kellner Road.
Councilman, McAnally, those, 3 things are departments. Is it okay if I make sure that it's included in the engineer's report for the traffic study? Because you told them to do that, as well as you told them to, I think they've already gave us options on the roads. Did they give us options on the road or no?
Yes, they did.
So they,
So
we
it
have,
was
we
gonna
have
be
it.
in the.
It's just gonna be on the first of the month. And the update of the church signs, that would be Public Works needs to give you an update
Yeah,
on.
fantastic. Whatever the route is to do that, I just want to be
Okay.
sure we're following
I'll
up on
just make
that.
sure that it's definitely in the reports for you, okay?
Awesome.
Is that it?
That's all I have, thanks.
Ms. Taylor?
I just want to make sure we get the workshop listed on there at 6:30 at 14th of May.
They're
Make
fair,
sure, you
they're
don't
fair
have to do
playing.
it on this one, but I'm just saying,
I'll
yeah.
send the invites so everyone can know.
So it don't need to be a.
It's gonna be, the workshop
May
for the
14th.
master, their fail through
Yeah.
plan on May the 14th at 6:30. That's all I have.
Invite needs to go out.
Okay.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's it for me.
Mr. Green?
Discussion, possible action, creating a full-time code enforcement position.
He doing good, though.
You want to bring it back in-house?
No, the
Is that-
guy.
Okay,
Someone
you can't, yeah, yeah,
I just, your clarification is to bring it in-house?
Yes.
Well, you know, y'all secretive, so
okay.
I'm talking about him, something we'll talk about next week.
I just don't wanna get into it.
I got to, I know.
Is that it, sir?
And I would like an update on the animal control.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, yes.
Did y'all talk to, oh, never mind.
All right, is that it?
That's it.
Okay. Number 28, adjournment.
Move that we adjourn.
All right.
Second.